Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
But I would still like to be excited about the Hall of Fame. But if I look at Jeremy Roenick, stick with me. And you too, son. As Colonel Parker said to Elvis, my boy.
My boy.
You pay attention, my boy. Jeremy Roenick played 1,363 games. 1,363. He had 1,216 points. Henrik Sedin played 1,330 games, almost identical. 1,330 versus 1,070 points. Henrik Sedin wasn't even a point-a-game guy. Nor was Jeremy Roenick, but Roenick's numbers are way better than Sedin's, and Sedin got in. Neither one has a Stanley Cup. Theo does, and Theo's an over-a-point-a-game guy. And throw in the Olympic gold and the World Men's Championships and the World Juniors too. I'm starting to think, so it's not just Theo. JR's battling some sort of stigma or something.
Yeah.
Because JR should probably be in the Hockey Hall of Fame too. And I'm like, so basically this, I believe the guy's name was Brad that sent it to me. I don't know him, but I'm like, I'm kind of turning a little bit in my interest on the Hockey Hall of Fame then. If guys that should be in aren't in for whatever reason, ignorance, the stigma with Theo, or a grudge or ego, which I'm assuming is JR's, I'm not as interested as I used to be. How about that?
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show. Good morning, Rod Squad.
Maybe tomorrow I'll tell you guys about the big game that I went to in San Antonio with Snoop Dogg. Remember that one, Clark? The Lakers and Spurs? Snoop Dogg and I went, Bob.
How about that?
Snoop Dogg was sitting courtside. I was up in the nosebleeds, but we were in the arena at the same time. I was there with him.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, good day, Canada and Canadian sports fans around the world. I know our man Rick Reagan said good morning, but it's good afternoon to those out in the Eastern time zone. It is the RP Show, and as promised, because we are men of our promises, we are live from a rodeo arena, and specifically Cody Snyder's Bull Bustin' here in the parking lot of the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Before I go any further, I can tell you Cody Snyder is a guy that gets it. And we'll talk about that. I'm looking over my shoulder because the Moose, Darren Moose DuPont, is here. And for our American viewers,
great hair.
I'm going to tell you this. There you go. Great hair. I can tell you right now. Welcome to summer in Canada. Or even spring or fall. Where this morning we get up, it's cold. It was not wet, but it was raining all night, Moose. He's now in a T-shirt. Look at this guy. You look at you ready to head to the gym. I got my jacket on, starting to sweat. And it's not just because we were running around last minute getting this together. And bravo to the Cody Snyder Bull Busting crew, the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino crew, getting us on the air. And here we go. Bob's your uncle.
Pretty awesome. I mean, it's only about 11 degrees. It's not warm yet, but it's still it's awesome. Where would you rather be? I mean, they're getting set. There's a little vibe around here for the Bull Busting. So it's cool, and there's going to be some work going on around us as they continue to get ready. So.
Oh, man. Here's the thing. It's not normal sports talk, whatever that is. I don't know. But God's clearly a rodeo fan. God is a Cody Snyder fan. And we know for a fact that God's a Rod Pedersen Show fan. But the sound guy is over here, and he comes up to us about a half an hour ago. His speakers that are enough like a damn Kiss concert, he says, I'm going to be running the music here, you guys. Speakers are like, what, Darren? 12 feet from me?
Facing you, yes.
I said, do what you got to do, bro. Like, I almost thought we were going to die in Florida a couple weeks ago. I thought I was going to die. So I made it through that. I'll be totally fine. And then our COO, he now has a title, Lee Genier. When we were setting this up last week, he was like, if you know Lee, he's like, can we get some bulls running around here? Can we get some bulls running around? So I said to Cody this morning, listen, I was raised around cattle and in a rodeo family. I don't want any bulls running around. I don't want my back to them. I've seen them jump rails. I don't feel like dying today or any other day. And Cody's like, no, they're weapons.
And if those that don't know Cody Snyder, world champion bull rider, and we were kids, like I grew up, Darren, thinking everybody grew up like we did. Don't we all grow up that way and think, why wouldn't you? Especially when you're in small town Saskatchewan. So when we were watching these rodeos and Cody Snyder was riding bulls, we were always excited because, like, he's the Canadian guy. He's the guy from Red Cliff. You know, he's swinging with the big dogs. And I didn't realize that not as many people follow rodeo or bull riding as we did. So when I was talking to him this morning, we just hit it off. So I'm just so happy to be here. How about you?
That's good. Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's really cool, and I can't wait for the actual bull busting event. We were here last year, but we were just dipping our toes in. We didn't really know what was going on. And now we're on the inside.
It's so great.
Cool.
Yes, but when I say he gets it, he understands, Cody Snyder, that we're not going to sit here and talk rodeo for 2 hours or bull riding for 2 hours. He's just happy to have us here.
Yeah.
Period. And the Grey Eagle folks, this was their idea, actually, to do this, and we're pretty excited to be here. So thank you, and sit back and enjoy as we talk sports for the next 2 hours. And our guests will be Vancouver Canucks radio play-by-play man Brendan Batchelor, the news-making Dean Boomer Molberg, who just stepped down last week from All Sports Radio, Fan 960. And I can tell you something, that's not just a Calgary story. When my brother is texting me saying, what's up with that Calgary Radio guy, it tells you that this is a far-reaching story. Boomer's going to be with us in hour 2 right here on location. And Chase Coward, goaltender of the Red Deer Rebels, is going to be with us as he gets ready for the NHL Draft and hopes to hear his name called this week. Those are the guests. Can we hit the quick six show horn, please, Director Jordan? Please, and thank you. And that reminds me, I have not opened up my YouTube feed yet because we're slightly out of sorts. Our poll question for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center just popped up. Who will be the number 1 overall pick in the NHL Draft? Round 1's Thursday night, right?
That's right.
Shane Wright, Juraj Slafkovsky, or Logan Cooley or other. Vote on that now. The majority saying Shane Wright, who spent most of the year ranked number 1 for the draft, and he is now, as I see, slipped out of that. John Ohm, watching in Winnipeg, says, looking great at the corral, boys. Thank you, and feeling great. Look good, feel good. Jenna Reagan says, good morning from Southern California. Good morning, Jenna. It's a beautiful day there, I'm sure, and it's certainly a beautiful day here. And there's a chopper overhead.
Yeah, there is.
As my brother says, anything can break out on this show at any time. And I'm sweating into a puddle. I will not finish the show wearing this jacket, just so you know. Number 1, did you hit the show horn? Did you hit it? Did he? No. Can you hit the show horn, please, Jordan? Thank you. I think he did. I don't know. Number 1, he did. Okay, well, you hit it twice. That's nice. Number 1, we're going to start with the Canadian Football League. Sports Center led with it, so we're going to lead with it. A missed convert by Boris Beattie with 25 seconds to go in regulation after the Toronto Argonauts rallied to within a point was the difference Monday night as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers escaped BMO Field in Toronto with a 23-22 victory and their unbeaten streak intact. The defending Grey Cup champion Blue Bombers are now the CFL's lone team with 4 wins, 4-0. They appeared headed to overtime. We watched it at Boston Pizza where they gave us free dessert. And Rod Smith says, oh, looks like they're going to overtime with his baritone voice. And then, no, Boris Beattie had other ideas. And the Argos fall to 1-2. So my number 1 question, let's talk about this for a second, and we'll get to hockey later. Should they have gone to 2, Moose? You played football, coached football, ref football. Should they have gone for 2 to win the game? Or kicking the single was the best idea?
It depends on your philosophy. I'm a believer in going for 2, not always, but in that situation, you're telling me I can have 1 play to win the game now, or I can take my chances and hope that I get a chance to win the game later. You've got your chance. You might never get another chance to win the game. So I would always go for 2 in that situation to win the game rather than go to overtime.
Yeah, right.
Because you might never get another chance to win it. You have an opportunity, 1 play to win the game right now. You may never get it. And I'm not a guy who sits there hoping the other team's going to fail, right? I've got it in my hands, right? You just scored a touchdown. Go for 2, win the game.
I know. But there was no criticism of Ryan Dinwiddie coming out of the game. None that I saw. None.
Oh, it's not a bad decision.
No, I didn't. Ryan Dinwiddie, the head coach of the Argos, looked like he'd seen a ghost after the game. And for obvious reasons, nobody was criticizing him for not going for two. I saw Milt the Stilt, our guy Milt Stiegel, on SportsCenter saying, no, this was the right decision to go for one. And then there's people, because we put the photo of Boris Beatty all over our social media, the kicker that went, they're like, blame Brandon Banks for dropping two passes. Blame Macbeth for having a slow first half.
Yeah.
No, man. No. You pay people to do their jobs. And Boris Beatty is largely a reliable kicker, right? He's been around a long time. But I can see why people would think that he is the wearing the goat horns. From the chat, Stephen in North Dakota watching says, Rod, will you be dining at Cody's Golden Corral later today? Buffet plans? We did that the other night. You can't have a buffet every day. Todd Pinkney, Priority One viewer, says the helicopter's probably the Calgary police looking for the loose bowl. Is there a loose bowl?
What?
Which reminds me.
Oh, no.
Cody Snyder said, and I'm telling you, it was a huge thrill to get to know Cody Snyder, and I have his number in my phone now. And we're talking about the stuff going on. He's like, it'll sound good, stuff going on, right?
Yeah.
And I said, yes, absolutely. And I said, you don't bring the Bulls in for like a morning skate, do you? Or a stretch or a shoot-around, as they call it in the NBA? He's like, no. The Bulls aren't showing up till 3 o'clock. And people, you people need to understand what it's like in show business. This thing is sold out Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and as of this morning, 30 tickets were left for Friday night. Imagine your Bulls are on their way here, Darren. What if they didn't get here on time? What do you do then? Like, I'm just saying, you fly by the seat of your pants in this entertainment business.
Of course.
Gosh, it's a rush.
What if you don't have a cable hooked up? Or, I mean, anything can happen, but they're out here getting everything set up nice and early, and today's the day, so it's exciting.
Randy from Winnipeg says, another great on-site show, RP show. I want to see a bull. How about if we just throw the bull? How about that? Throw some bull around here. There's not going to be bulls until tomorrow. But we're going to be here every day. Jason in Red Deer says, against the undefeated back-to-back Grey Cup champs, you go for the kill. Now, sure, it's easy to say now. Nelson Hakowitz, the Argos are in trouble with some infighting involving Speedy B. When Pinner looks ticked off, you've done messed up. DOD, which means dinner on Delta. Ted in Red Deer, morning all. Set looks great, RP show. That's the thing. I feel bad because my name's on this, but I do very little. As a matter of fact, you know that inner voice I tell you all the time that I hear in my head? You know what it said yesterday? Stay out of the way. It was very clear in my head. So I stayed out of the way and let everybody else set up.
Yeah, but let's be fair. This was your intuition to be out here today. I mean, you were texting me at 6:30 in the morning being like, it's clear out today. You were like a kid on Christmas. Like, I woke up at 6:30, my phone, it's clear. I'm like, just going to wait a minute, see where the weather goes, and I'll text him back here. And it was your idea to be out here, right? And it worked, and it looks amazing, so take credit for that.
Well, I have a mild anxiety problem. So I was up early, checking the skies. From JT, listen, we've made a pact that we didn't want to talk about CFL attendance, but I told you at Boston Pizza last night, and we hit 2 restaurants last night. Edo Japan as well, we went to celebrate there. This is why I said, you told me not to tweet it, but I said I'm going to bring it up on the show today. Viewer JT says, good morning. Toronto CFL fan attendance, atrocious. I said to Moose, the Rough Riders practices routinely draw more than what's at this game in Toronto. And at what point has it become an embarrassment? I mean, it has no bearing to me, so if I want to sweep it under the rug, I can. It doesn't affect me, but what's it doing to the CFL? Because I got my buddies in Southern California last night, Southern Florida were texting me last night about the game. They were all watching it on ESPN Plus, and they're like, this is a joke. Because they all remember a Toronto where the stands were full. It's bad. Do you have any thoughts on that before we move on? It's just so negative, I don't know what to say.
It is bad. again, I'd love to get my hands on it because I think it could be a fun project to try and get football going in that town because there's possibilities, but it's sad, and I hate to see the empty buildings because we're seeing it in other leagues too, and I just don't know where it's going. You want to look at this game and say, well, the CFL is going in the wrong direction, and they might be in terms of fan attendance. It might just be coming out of the pandemic still. It might just be not in the conscious. It might be a money thing. I don't know what the issue is, but it's not good.
It's not good. And my mind's darting to a million different places here. We're only on point one of the quick six show topics here, so we got a lot to go through here today. But there's a lot of us old-time CFL people. It's in my commentary today. I've been covering the league since 1991. And Darren and I were talking the other day about, the journey and the universe and things that you don't know. Like, I wasn't even a Rider fan until I was 15, 16 years old when I met Jeff Farrell. 3 years later, I'm on the sidelines doing Rider Radio, interviewing John Candy when the Argos came to town when I was 18. Who could plan that?
Yeah.
So don't ever tell me that I don't love the CFL. But a lot of us old-timers are sitting back going, it's sad what it's become and what's being done about it. And I hear Bob McGowan, Bobcat in Toronto, saying, it's never going to be like it used to be. It'll never be like it. Well, okay, you'd know better than me. I've never spent one day living in Toronto, so I guess you're right. It's hopeless. So why would I care? And then when you say that you would like to get your hands on it, I used to think I'd like to get my hands on it. But do you think that if they joined the XFL or the USFL or something other than CFL, that Torontonians would care? Because clearly they don't care.
Yes, but not because it's a different league than the CFL, just because it's new. I think, if the XFL came to Toronto, I think they would draw fans because it would be the shiny new object that we got to go check out. And it's The Rock. So maybe we're going to see him. And we don't know what other celebrities are going to be there. And it's that factor, right? I think with Toronto, you almost got to have that shock value or that wow factor again somehow. You have to make it the shiny new object. You have to make it something that people just need to check out. And it's not just going to happen by bringing in great players or by, having a great marketing scheme and by, advertising everywhere and by telling a bunch of people. You have to, create some real buzz. And you mentioned John Candy. That's when they had a lot of buzz. Rocket Ismail, John Candy, Wayne Gretzky, right? And people say, well, bring Drake out. That's not necessarily going to get you a lot of buzz because it's not authentic. It's just hiring a spokesperson, right? You need some real buzz.
I got a lot of great football friends from Toronto. By name, Mike Abu-Meshrik, Luke Mullender, Dan Rashovich, and they all say Torontonians get excited over the ooh factor. Like if Kim Kardashian showed up for the coin toss, they might actually sell a ticket. Mm-hmm. They don't care about the football. So I don't know. Maybe The Rock is going to come in for a game when the Argos leave to go to the XFL. Ooh, maybe they'll get excited about that. I don't know, but there's been a lot of John Candy movies airing on Game Network. I've been watching it in my room here at Grego. You have too, because you're smiling already. Uncle Buck, Summer Rental, Great Outdoors. Ladies and gentlemen, do a Wikipedia search on John Candy. I'm 18, doing Rider Sidelines on CKRM Radio, and the Argo game was on News 1010. And Mark Charlebois was the voice of the Argos, and he said, you're doing the Rider Sidelines for the visitors. We're going to give you a cellular phone, and you're going to interview John Candy for us after the game. This was 1991. This was after Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. This was after Uncle Buck and Summer Rental. Yeah. I walked up to him, and I was like, I stared at him for 5 minutes. One of the most enormous human beings I've ever seen in my life. We'll be back. We're 1 point into the quick six. On the way, Brendan Batchelor, Boomer Molberg, and Chase Coward. You're watching the RP Show live from Cody Snyder's Bull Bustin' in Calgary, Alberta on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio streaming now at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here. Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of fun. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG. Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
All right, we're back live at Cody Snyder's Bull Bustin' in Calgary, Alberta. I got so many things to get to. Before we bring the Moose back on camera, let's do a sports update, if you don't mind, because on this Tuesday, and by the way, they've got the speakers up on a scaffold. I'm in the shade. I'm okay with it. I'm sure the viewers are, too. Breaking news, the Toronto Maple Leafs have promoted Haley Wickenheiser, Ryan Hardy, and Darryl Metcalf to assistant general manager and hired Curtis Sanford as a goaltending coach. Haley, a 4-time Olympic gold medalist with the Canadian women's team from Shaunavon, Sask. Glad you asked. Joined the Leafs as assistant director of player development in 2018 and was promoted to senior director of the department last year. She will continue as AGM of player development, the team said today in a statement. Newly hired Winnipeg Jets coach Rick Bowness says he's okay with being the team's second choice. Before signing Bowness on Sunday, the Jets had been in negotiations with Barry Trotz. When asked about that Monday at a press conference, Bowness said that Trotz would have been his first choice too. Bowness spent the last 3 seasons. I told you yesterday he would have no problem with it. This stuff happens all the time. The Toronto Blue Jays send lefty Yusei Kikuchi to the mound tonight in Oakland as they try to stop a 4-game slide. The A's opened the 3-game series with a 5-1 win last night. The Jays have dropped to third in the American League East and are just a half game up on Tampa Bay. This sports update for Edo, Japan. Delicious Japanese-inspired meals and snacks made to order with high-quality ingredients. And again, we're live from Cody Snyder's Bull Bust and 4 days of pro rodeo cowboys, bull riders right here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino as we bring in the moose. I had the bento box last night at Edo, Japan with spring rolls, teriyaki chicken, and California roll, and it was unbelievable. You?
I had the bento box, chicken and beef, and the edamame beans. Delicious. So it was.
How about that?
It was a great,
I
not
like
my
it.
first meal there. I'd say it's a great first meal, but first one since the partnership. So
Yeah.
first of many.
I think it was my second, but I will be going back there regularly. By the way, so they've put this scaffold up and the speakers are right in front of me, and I'm okay with it. I don't know how it looks, but the sun was starting to bear down on me. You saw I took my jacket off. Whatever, we'll figure it out. The show's going great. By the way, regarding Lee Bellows, a guy that you wouldn't know, Darren, but he wrote into my Facebook.
The NHLer?
No, Lee Bellows. That's Brian Bellows.
Brian Bellows, I
former
know.
Kitchener Ranger. Lee says, Lee was a rodeo clown. A clown.
Okay.
He said, your dad did a pretty good job as rodeo color man. You should handle this easy. Lee, my brother, what did Dad was a rodeo color man? I didn't know that. What is a rodeo color man? Guy that does color commentary?
That's the only thing I can assume.
I know what the pickup man is. I didn't know that Dad did that.
I'm going to have to ask Cody.
Yeah. What is a rodeo color man? By the way, our CFL coverage brought to you by Bronco Plumbing and Heating and Cooling. To schedule maintenance or to learn more about about our services, call 306-781-2090 or visit us at broncoplumbing.com. Same-day service. In most cases, that's been my experience with them. Point two, I just mentioned the Blue Jays got roughed up 5-1 last night, so we'll move on from that. Yusei Kikuchi goes to the mound tonight. Point three, Joey Jaws Chestnut of Westfield, Indiana, gobbled his way to a 15th win at the Nathan's famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest in Brooklyn, powering down 63 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes at the annual Exhibition of Success. Now get this. In a chow down comeback, women's record holder Miki Sudo of Tampa down 40 hot dogs to win the women's title after skipping last year because she was pregnant. And the interesting thing about this show going to air, Moose, at noon Eastern, 10 a.m. Mountain, this was over yesterday by the time we went to air, right? So we were talking about this yesterday.
That's right.
I wanted to throw it in here. A lot of the Canadians would have seen this, but maybe not the Americans. Our Sports Center was showing highlights of this display. I'm not in favor of it.
You think
Overeating.
You think, though, it'd be easier to eat more hot dogs when you're eating for two, wouldn't it?
Why did she take the year off?
You're eating for two? Probably chow down a few more, but
Miki Sudo.
good for her.
So, I'll get to the more points in a moment. From High Explosive, watching in the chat, says, hashtag fear the deer. Trey Ford versus Nathan Rourke, can't wait. That's a you problem. Edmonton's playing Calgary on Thursday night, and we're going. So let's not get the cart ahead of the horse, to use a rodeo term or a Western term. Not looking ahead to that yet. James Henderson in Border, Manitoba says, happy to see the team back together in Canada. Rodeo clowns were brave dudes. They were more so bullfighters, and there is a difference. But I said to Darren earlier, this is what I love about this show, and this is what I love about being at Grey Eagle. These guys are pros. They're professionals. Everybody came together today to make this work, right? And then in the commercial break, the sound guy's like, hey, you guys gonna break? Let me check the thing. Like, he's working. We're working together. This is what I've always wanted. And it's happening today.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Makes me so happy. Colin in Ottawa watching. He says, Dupes, you do know in CFL overtime that both teams get a chance to match the score of their opponent unless they throw a pick six, right? So you kick the extra point to go to overtime every time. Do you want to respond to that?
Yes. There is no guarantee you're going to get a chance to win the game. So if the other team goes down and scores touchdowns and 2 points, the best you can do is tie. Here's a chance to win it where the other team has the hands tied behind their back. They can't even do anything about it on offense. This is your only guaranteed chance to win the game. You go to overtime, you're hoping your defense makes a stop. You're hoping the other team misses a pass or misses a field goal. You're hoping. You have one chance to win the game. Pretty high percentage play, too, I would say. I mean, it's not over 50%, I don't think, for two-point converts, but it's darn close. Yeah.
This is why I stay out of the football discussions. This guy played it, reffed it, coached it. So there. And that with football, it's just such an argumentative sport when it comes to this stuff. Hindsight, right?
But it is just my opinion. You kick one, you haven't lost the game. It's not a bad decision to kick one. It's just philosophy. But it is your only guaranteed chance to win the game.
By the way, coming up in the third segment, 20 to the hour, Brendan Batchelor, the voice of the Vancouver Canucks. Every time I say it, and Brendan probably, I'll ask him when he gets on the air with this. It reminds me of the old public address announcer in Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver. He used to be just down from where I called the games there. Ho, ho, ho. That's what he used to. Batch, you remember that? The Vancouver Giants. Ho, ho, ho. The guy had the biggest voice. Green Giant. See how much fun I'm having here? This is like the greatest thing ever.
I know.
Point 4. Attorneys for multiple women suing Deshaun Watson over allegations of sexual misconduct are seeking the documents from the NFL's investigation into the former Houston Texans quarterback. According to the motion filed Friday by the women's attorneys, the legal team seeks any and all reports and files from the NFL's investigation into the quarterback, including recorded interviews, witness statements, and communications. A hearing with NFL disciplinary officer Sue L. Robinson, a retired judge, ended last week in Delaware. And if you remember, we thought that we would get a ruling on Watson by the end of the week.
Yeah.
No. Robinson's expected to rule before the Browns open training camp later this month on whether the 26-year-old violated the league's personal conduct policy. 2 people who were in attendance during last week's hearing told the Associated Press that the NFL insisted on an indefinite suspension, while Watson's legal team argued there's no basis for that punishment. As this went to 2 grand jury judges that said we're not going to move forward with charges on this. What a mess. And out of all of that, the only reason I bring it up is, I do spend a lot of time reading. I'm not just a pretty face. And but they're saying that the Cleveland Browns and Baker Mayfield are attempting to reconcile. Have you seen any of those reports?
I have, yeah. And as Baker said, it's got to be the Browns who make the first move.
I didn't see that.
They have to reach out. He had said about a week ago or more now that he had said that he's moved on. He said, we're moved on. I'm waiting for my trade, right? And it is what it is. But he said if it is going to be repaired, they're going to have to make the first move. So, and that's fair. He was hurt. He was, he didn't take the action to leave. He didn't demand a trade, right? So if it is going to be repaired, it's going to be the Browns that are going to have to make the first move.
I didn't read that.
So I don't know if that's a box.
Well, they're going to have to make the first move.
Well-written card, or I don't know what the first move to reconciliation is, but they got to make it.
Jason in Red Deer says he's going to be at the Stamps Elks game too. I think this is an opportunity where we could meet with fans at Commonwealth on Thursday if you're interested. Let's do a concourse meet and greet. Ted in Red Deer says, I think the most underrated, dangerous part of bull riding is that if you fall off the bull on the wrong side, your hand doesn't release. Crazy hard and dangerous. Yeah, it's called getting hung up. And the one thing, yes, sir, well, the one thing that I've noticed as I was looking up Cody Snyder, like rodeo, a lot of sports could use better communications and PR, media relations. Fair?
Yeah.
Like, how does Cody Snyder not have a Wikipedia page? He is a world-famous bull rider. And I just met him today for the first time, and because he came up and stuck his hand out. You Rod? Yep. I'm like, oh. He goes like, I'm Cody. I'm like, oh, you run the whole thing. I didn't recognize you without your cowboy hat. I've never seen him without a cowboy hat. And I immediately, what do you do? When I say I go to the big board, what do you think I'm doing? I'm going to Wikipedia. I'm going to HockeyDB.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's any website that you can go to for rodeo awards, honors, NFR appearances, CFR appearances. I don't think there is.
There's no bull riding DB, I don't think.
Somebody want to get on that?
My cousin Christine in Medicine Hat says, so what are you going to wear tonight? It's tomorrow, Chris. And we've decided what that is, but I'm going to save that until tomorrow. She's talking about the Ferrari unveiling of their 2023 line that I've been invited to, and I didn't know what to wear. Stay tuned until tomorrow. Point 5, Rick Bowness doesn't mind being the second choice. I covered this in the sports update, but we'll cover it again. The new Winnipeg Jets head coach took part in his first press conference Monday, a little more than a week after first target Barry Trotz declined the team's offer because he wanted to spend more time with his family. Bowness said with a laugh, quote, if I'm in his chair, referring to GM Kevin Cheveldayoff, I'm going after Trotzy too. I am. It's that simple. Trotzy's the perfect guy for this. I get that. With his resume, I would have done the same thing Chevy did. Cheveldayoff said he talked about a dozen candidates, including many who got head coaching jobs elsewhere, such as John Tortorella in Philly and Bruce Cassidy in Vegas. We got a minute. You were snickering. Do you thought that was funny of Rick?
Of course it was funny. I mean, the first, step towards winning over the fan base is accepting what the fan base's opinion is. I mean, I agree with you guys. I'd rather have him too, right? So instantly that can endear you to the fan base, and okay, so at least we're starting on the same foot here, right? And I think it's now he's got to, plead to the fan base. Just wait and see. We've got a good team. Let's see what happens at the draft. Let's see what happens in free agency. Let's see what moves get made. And just wait until we get into September and into camp and what we're dealing with here and see what I can do with this group before you judge what you have here with Rick Bowness. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
And point 6, the NHL Draft in Montreal this week is being conducted in person for the first time since 2019 after the COVID pandemic forced the past 2 events to be held remotely. Flames forward Andrew Mangiapane recalls almost giving up on hearing his name called while attending the event. He sat in the stands through 12-plus rounds over 2 consecutive summers before finally getting selected 166 overall by the Flames. Man, is he something. Mm-hmm. He's a good player. Brendan Batchelor will join us next to talk about the NHL Draft. I see there is some CFL talk going on about MLSE ignoring the Argos. People are tweeting us on that. Some stuff about Cody Fajardo. I hear he's injured, by the way. I heard that. He's playing hurt. His back and knees are not in good shape. That probably should come as a surprise to nobody. See you in hour 2, Moose.
See you then.
We're live from Bullbustin at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino in Calgary. Brendan Batchelor joins us from Vancouver next. You're watching on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio streaming now at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Calgary, Alberta, here they come. Welcome your Bull Riders!
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
We're live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, and as you're about to see, live from just outside the arena for Cody Snyder's Bull Bustin'. Night one is tonight. We'll go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tickets only available for Friday night show. Check out Bull Bustin' on all of their social media channels to get yours, and hope to see you down here. It is the NHL Draft this week. Round one going Thursday night in Montreal. One team that I feel guilty we don't talk enough about is the Vancouver Canucks, and I'm really pleased that Brendan Batchelor is joining us from Sportsnet 650 Vancouver to talk about it. And Batch, I'll start by saying, how has the offseason been, besides longer than anybody out in Vancouver would have liked? How's the summer been?
Yeah, it's been quiet in Canuckland anyway. They haven't made some of the major moves that people might be expecting with the new management group, with Patrick Alvin and Jim Rutherford taking control midway through the season. So quiet but good, and I think a lot of people in the Canucks fandom are excited for what could be to come this week in terms of some major moves for this organization.
Okay, tell me about it then. And for all of those our viewers, we are available Game Plus TV on TELUS Optic Cable all across the province of BC. What do you think is going to go down?
Well, there's a lot of talk about the future of JT Miller, who has 1 year remaining on his contract. He's set to turn 30 here pretty soon. And for a guy that scored 99 points last year, he may not be back with the Vancouver Canucks. And I think, the next couple of weeks are really going to be critical in terms of Miller's future. There are reports out there from people much more well-connected than I am that the Canucks are going to take another run at trying to extend him, trying to bring him back into the fold. But if those talks prove fruitless, then it wouldn't surprise me at all if we see JT Miller traded in the next couple of weeks. And that could really set the Canucks up, for the future, depending on the kind of return they can get, the number of pieces they could acquire in a trade for, a top forward in the league like JT Miller. I would imagine that they would be looking for something similar to the return that Kevin Fiala got in the trade to the LA Kings, if not a little bit more. But that's the name that's on the lips of everyone in Vancouver this week, is JT Miller and what his future is going to hold.
How interested are they in the draft? I mean, you don't have the number one pick. Like John Lou was with us yesterday, and he said Habs fans are going nuts with that number one pick, and I understand that. But what do the Canucks have? 4 picks, and what do you think the needs are with the club?
Well, the need for sure is defense, and to restock the prospect cupboards as a whole. When you look at their prospect pipeline right now, it's not very deep. They don't have a ton of young players in the organization. Part of that is because they have a ton of young players that have already cracked their NHL roster, whether it's Elias Pedersen or Quinn Hughes, Niels Höglander, Vasily Podkolzin, the list goes on. But also because in recent years, they've traded away a lot of their draft picks to try and improve their team in the short term. And so it's left them with a situation where they don't have a ton coming through the prospect pipeline. Really, Jack Rathbone is a young defenseman that's going to push to break the NHL roster this year. But after that, it's pretty thin. So it wouldn't surprise me if, they do make some sort of major trade, whether it's involving JT Miller or someone else, that they try to acquire as many picks as possible in return so they can help stock those cupboards. But the real need for this team, and, one of the areas that they've struggled in the most over the last few years is defense. So finding young defensemen, particularly young right shot defensemen, has to be a high priority for Patrick Allvin and the Canucks going into the draft.
It's interesting that you say that. I mean, with OEL being brought in, I watched him for years in Arizona. I know how good a player he is. But moves like that didn't pan out. And with Bruce Boudreau being brought back, let me stop and back up. How did that go over, by the way, the decision to bring Gabby back for another year?
Widely loved by the fan base. He was, a head coach that came in and completely turned the team around from a very low point in early December where they were completely out of it. People were assuming that the playoffs were a pipe dream. And instead, he battled them right back into the mix. And, if not for a very heavy schedule down the stretch, in part because of some COVID postponements that happened, through December and January, that very well could have been a team that snuck into the playoffs with how well they played down the stretch. So in the fan base, people universally love Bruce Boudreau. They were chanting, "Bruce, there it is," at the games whenever the Canucks would get a lead or were playing well. So he, his approval rating could not be higher at this moment in the fan base. And they've now made some tweaks to their coaching staff this week around him, bringing in Mike Yeo as an assistant coach, most notably. So it's going to be interesting to see whether Boudreau can carry forward that strong form that he was able to help the Canucks regain in terms of their confidence down the stretch last year. And, if he can bring that through into a new season, starting from day one, getting training camp, getting everything prepared as a head coach normally would.
Sure. And then as you say that, I saw the Canucks play in Edmonton on opening night, and then I saw them play under Gabby in Florida and Calgary, and they were a far different team under Bruce. So my question to you, the reason I backed up is, are the fans seeing this as a complete rebuild or just a slight retool, and they're going to be a contender for the playoffs in the Pacific Division and Western Conference? That this is not starting over from scratch with Rutherford and Gabby.
No, it's not. They've got some great young pieces in Elias Pedersen, in Quinn Hughes, in the goaltender Thatcher Demko that are really going to be the core of what they build going forward. And I think it would be massively surprising if any of those three players aren't here long term in Vancouver. But, for example, they're not ready to be a Stanley Cup contender yet. JT Miller is, nearly 30 years old, looking for big money and long term. A player like that, who was their top scorer last year, maybe doesn't fit into the picture right now. So I wouldn't characterize it as a total rebuild, but I do think there is a strong possibility that they look to take one step back so they can take 2 or 3 steps forward in the years to come. And that's more how I would characterize the way they're looking at things right now.
Excellent. Well, their fans certainly deserve it, and you do as well to call some playoff games. Brendan, thanks for this. Always a wonderful Canucks update from you. Enjoy the draft and what's left of summer.
Sounds good. Thanks, Rod.
The radio voice of the Vancouver Canucks, Brendan Batchelor. And I forgot to ask him about the ho-ho-ho, the old PA announcer of the Vancouver Giants. That guy was awesome. We'll be back with a viewer takeover. Dean Boomer Molberg coming up in hour 2. Sports radio legend. And Chase Coward of the Red Deer Rebels. We're going to talk some CFL next, as a matter of fact, in viewer takeover. You're watching on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio streaming now at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG. Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
We are live. That is the arena just over my shoulder here. I apologize. My computer just froze for a second. I'm not sure why, but we're back and we're good to go with Taco Time Viewer Takeover. It's Taco Tuesday, by the way, don't you know? $2 tacos all day or night. There are such a wide variety. Taco Time wanted us to say, what do you want, beef or veggie? Soft shell, hard shell. But we go to Taco Time here and we realize you can get beans too. What? So yeah, it'll be another day of Taco Time for lunch for us. I love it. Canadians love local. Go loco, eat local. Taco Time uses fresh ingredients sourced in Canada. Our beef, chicken, cheddar cheese, sour cream, and Mexi fries are all made in Canada. So it was a bit of a mad scramble pulling things together today for those that have been watching. And by the way, it all worked. And I just love how everybody comes together to win. It's what I've always wanted. It's what I've always preached. These people here want to win, and they want to work together. So to the text line, this is great. This is great. I don't even know where to start. Brady in Saskatoon says, are they ready for the event? They're ready for the event here. He says, by the way, Rod, you just test run one of the bowls. Make sure they're ready for the event.
No. That's funny, but no. Obviously, you weren't watching earlier. Our COO, Lee Genier, wanted some bulls running around behind me here to make it look good, and I'm like, no. I was raised around them. I don't want to turn my back on them. I've seen them jump rails. I've seen them maim and kill people. Not interested. No bulls. We're good. Marshall Marcotte is watching in Winnipeg, and he says, you guys should be wearing cowboy hats. Great set backdrop, though. Two things come to mind when you say that. Number one, no. I always looked at Ron McLean and Mark Lee broadcasting from Calgary Stampede, and I'm like, what's the old Conway Twitty song? Don't call him a cowboy till you see him ride. I'm not a cowboy. So I don't wear the hat. I don't think those guys on CBC should be wearing cowboy hats. It doesn't look right. And then secondly, when you start a sentence, you should, just stop. But I'm not saying that specifically to you, Marshall. I appreciate you watching and the kind words. You should. You know what you should do? Daryl in Sherwood Park, Alberta. He says, you going to come by in Edmonton and say hi at the Spirit of Edmonton tailgate? By the way, Calgary sucks. Nope. Not getting into that either. We are Switzerland when it comes to the Calgary-Edmonton Battle of Alberta and any other rivalry for that matter. I don't know if we're going to make it in time for the tailgate. It's new for me. This whole thing is new. Going to games as fans. We missed all the tailgating the other day because we just weren't ready for it. We'll just roll in 10 minutes before kickoff. They'll still be going, right? Nope. Metal Shingle Guy in Regina writes in. He says, Trey Watson would be a nice backup. Brandon Banks looks like he's lost with the Argos. Come on, Beatty. Yes, there was a viewer in here. Oh, Mike Horrigan, an Argo fan, tuning in. Where is Mike Horrigan? He says, what's up, RP Squad and show? The Argos really didn't deserve the W last night, but you got to make that kick. One thing I was thinking about last night as I was tucking in to go to bed, Betty Bye, if you got to be good to be lucky, then the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are very good. Sorry, Boomer, you're a Bomber fan. I know that. Yeah, you understand. Yeah, I know that. Hey, it's fine. They're 4-0. They have nothing to apologize for. And the Boomer is in the building. Hour 2, Dean Boomer Molberg joining us. Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Mike also says, also, Monday night CFL football does not work for me. The CFL is a weekend thing. Somebody wrote in earlier and asked what the attendance was for the game last night and what the official attendance was. Look, if you go to last minute of play in hour 1, last minute of play, if you go to CFL.ca right now, where I always go to look up the attendance, it's not listed on the game sheet. And why do you think that is? They don't even want to say because it was so pathetically bad. We're trying to keep it positive here. BW in Edmonton writes in and says, Mike Greer is the next general manager of the San Jose Sharks. We're going to be talking a lot of NHL next hour with Boomer. That's okay, right, Boomer? Yeah, he's good with that.
Let's do it.
Gives me the thumbs up. You can hear him, you just can't see him yet. You look great, by the way, man.
Thanks, buddy.
You're stressed down, right?
Yeah, amazing, isn't it? Some sleep.
I know, exactly. Oh, you're not going to want to miss this one. Dean Boomer Molberg joining us next hour. Thank you to Brendan Batchelor in hour 1. Chase Coward of the Red Deer Rebels coming up also in hour 2. We're live from Cody Snyder's Bull Bustin', and we'll see you after this break on Game Plus Television.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Calgary, Alberta, here they come. Welcome your Bull Riders!
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM-certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you could be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Good morning, Rod Squad.
Maybe tomorrow I'll tell you guys about the big game that I went to in San Antonio with Snoop Dogg. Remember that one, Clark? The Lakers and Spurs? Snoop Dogg and I went, Bob.
How about that?
Snoop Dogg was sitting courtside. I was up in the nosebleeds, but we were in the arena at the same time. I was there with him.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hello, Canada. Welcome to the RP Show. It is hour 2, live from Cody Snyder's Bull Bustin'. It's another first on the RP Show, broadcasting live from a rodeo arena. Remember Edmonton, the pirate ship last fall, not to mention all the other cool places we've been. For the viewers, you can see that I'm in the shadows. They raised a speaker here in the middle of hour 1 and blocked out the sun. So I had to put my jacket back on. Hour 2, we bring in our guest, the great Dean Boomer Molberg. I don't even know how to introduce this guy other than sports talk radio legend. He's in the sun. How you doing, Boom?
Well, I was going to say, do you have makeup people? Because my big fat forehead is going to be shining. It'll be all, we'll be cutting out the camera here. I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Boomer's literally like, 10 feet from me. I'm in the shade, you're in the sun, and yeah, I know,
well,
couldn't be more different.
I watch the Rod Pedersen Show, and I see how you're set up, and I'm wondering how
casual.
You're very close to each other, but well done, buddy. Good for you.
Well, I'll say the same to you, and the comments already are rolling in like crazy. So I want to line this up. Last hour we had Brendan Batchelor, Vancouver Canucks Radio. Coming up later this hour, Red Deer Rebels goalie Chase Coward in advance of the NHL Draft. We're going to talk about everything with Boomer, but this is his first week. What do I say?
Well,
my
kids say I'm unemployed. My kid had found $5 in his pocket the other day. Hey, Dad, look, I got more money than you now. So that's how it's going to
Those
my
are your
house.
kids, eh? That's great.
Yeah.
This is what you say. You're self-employed.
Well, until there's money coming in, I don't know that, you know,
Right.
so I'm unemployed until something.
12 years?
It was 15 in Calgary, roughly 12 doing mornings.
Fan 960 All Sports Radio. And I said to Boomer when he came in here and sat down, which, by the way, I didn't recognize you. How much weight have you lost, dude?
It's a few. Thank you. It's very nice.
Congrats, man.
Thanks,
when
buddy.
you took the shades off, I got it. But all these years doing mornings on All Sports Radio here, when he announced that he was stepping away, which was just last week, right? A week ago Monday.
It was, yeah.
It was like a bomb went off in the sports world across this country. So I'll ask you on the air what I asked you off the air. Were you somewhat floored by the reaction to your announcement to step away from the microphone, All Sports Radio?
It sounds self-serving, right? And I've never been that guy.
I know.
And I didn't want to. I was just going to get to Thursday because Thursday was my last day. I said, why don't I just come on Thursday and we'll just do something on the Thursday? And HR with Rogers felt like, don't really think that's the right thing. Your fans are going to be upset. And I just never thought of it that way. You know what it's like. You do morning radio, or you do radio in general. You're sitting in a room, you're talking maybe with one other person. You hope people are listening. You never really know. It feels like you're doing it for your own benefit half the time.
Mm-hmm.
But Rod, I couldn't believe it. It was emotional for me. I barely got through the last show. I just couldn't get over the reach and the stories that were coming in of people who. I started listening with my dad, and now my dad's gone. I was listening with my son, and my son's gone. I listened through chemo treatments. I was very sick.
Of course.
All of that, and to think, I just never thought that the show had that kind of a connection, and I should have, because that's what got me into radio. It's why I loved it, right? But it was overwhelming. Some of the people that reached out, I would have never ever guessed. So I'm very thankful that it ended the way it did. I wasn't going to do it that way, but I'm glad it went the way it did.
Well, the thing is, I've known you a long time, but I haven't known you real well. But what I know about you is you don't want to be the story. You've never wanted to be the story. So I didn't think this would be sitting real. It wouldn't make you comfortable. Right?
It wasn't comfortable until I realized what the show kind of meant to other people.
Yeah.
That it wasn't my show, it was our show. That they got up every day and it was part of their daily life, and now it was kind of leaving, and that was hard. So once I kind of got around to that way of thinking, I was a lot better with it.
Yeah. So, and given all of that, and for those that don't know, although I feel like a lot of our viewers would, it was an outpouring of love, certainly sadness that you were stepping away. Did it make you second guess your decision at all?
Always, just because it goes back. It was kind of a year-to-year thing, where you'd get to the end of the hockey season and you'd be so ready for vacation, like everybody is. You get to summer, you just want to get away. And is that it? Is that the last lap? I kind of look at every year, it's like a lap. You do everything. Now it's time for the Calgary Flames golf tournament, and then it's this, and then it's training. You do everything over and over again on that calendar year that is the hockey season. And I had kind of talked to the last couple for sure that this was maybe it was time. And then COVID hit, and you were just happy to have a job. You got to stay employed, all of that. And I went away for Christmas, and I was very ready to go away. Came back, and you're kind of rejuvenated, but it lasted for about 2 days, and I was right back into it. And there's mental issues, like all of it. And even my wife was like, you can't do this anymore. You gotta.
Yep.
We're gonna be okay. If we've been planning, we're going to be okay. And I told the guys in January, I said, I think that's it. And we kind of went back and forth, and they were so great in giving me whatever time I needed. They didn't force me to do anything. And we picked the end of the hockey season, and we got to the end of the hockey season, and that was 2 weeks ago. So it may have felt like it was a little abrupt, but it's very much been part. So to go back, and especially after how wonderful the send-off was last week, the toothpaste is out of the tube. There's no going back now.
Yeah.
But no, I'm very happy with how it ended. I can hold my head high. I'm pretty proud of the work that we did, and
should be.
We'll see what's next.
Huge balls on this guy to do what he did. So way to go, Boomer. I'm proud of you. And so to sports, if you don't mind. I mean, you're I'm going to say retired for the lack of a better term, although you're not. I know you're not.
Well, I was texting with Treliving, And he's like, we need to get you a job. You're driving me crazy now. You got too much time in your hands. I'm like, hey, I'm bored now. Now I got to figure out, I'm still into it. I'm still interested.
So you're following sports?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
It's been a big part of everything here.
Well, so. I yelled at you off the air. I don't know if we were on or off, but I said that you were a Bomber fan. You are a Bomber fan.
I'm from Manitoba.
Does that make you a Bomber fan?
You know what it is? You work here, and you get up close, and you're with Dave Dickinson, and you're with Bo Levi.
Hard not to like them.
As you are now, you and Bo, you're tight, I see.
Not quite.
But you get around those guys, right? And you can't help but root for them and want them to succeed and do well.
Sure.
So, yeah, I mean, I kind of, more than anything, I just want the league to be strong. If it means Ottawa's great, then let's let Ottawa be great. If it means the Argos got it, then let the Argos win. But no, it's the Dickinson factor for sure here. I kind of really respect him a ton.
Fair. Well, and so that's the point. So as we work it around to sports talk here, and the viewers' comments are more than welcome. The text line's open, 902-518-3033, or you can join us in the chat. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers go to 4-0 last night. By virtue of the kicker of the Argos missing a single point with 25 seconds to go in a game that the Riders get more people to practice than were at that game in Toronto last night. So what was your take of that spectacle last night?
I've never understood fully, and it's for people who are a lot smarter than me, that the league needs the Argos, that we need Toronto. I don't know. It's not going, for whatever reason, whether it's the age gap or more things to do or the digital age, I just don't know how it's ever going to be much bigger than it is right now in Toronto. And it's bigger in other places. Play to your strengths. Do you not play to your strengths if you're the league? I just don't get it.
It's an anchor is what it is. It's an anchor.
It's no good. And they're good fans in Winnipeg. I don't know. They got a great ballpark. They've had a great team. It's the long weekend, more or less. It's summertime. So I don't know. I don't begrudge how people spend their entertainment dollar, but it doesn't look great when you've got absolute flies in a stadium for a game like that. And yeah, I don't know how you missed that kick. We saw one with Hamilton in Montreal earlier this season too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you kick? Are you good at that?
No, I've tried it.
You got long legs. You should be able to do it, right?
I've tried it. It's very difficult to do, actually.
Yeah.
But I was thinking with Beattie last night, I don't know him, but he's the kicker that missed the extra point last night. I get paid to do my job. You get paid to do your job. He didn't do his job. Period. He's a professional. So I don't know where. That's why I asked where you stand on that, because people are saying the Bombers didn't deserve to win. Yeah, they did. They did enough through 60 minutes to win.
And you're right. They have a little something if there's going to be a break. It's probably going to go their way right now. It's probably going to go their way. They're feeling it. I think they're well coached. They're a confident crew. And yeah, they had to feel like going into that game last night. There's no home field advantage. There's nothing here. Let's just go and get it.
In sports, people tend to forget this. And believe it or not, Boomer, there was the CFL character of me, right? Just to be, as some said, the Donald Trump of the CFL. I get the Winnipeg thing. 30 years of the most horrible of times. I watched it. I'm happy for them. They've earned this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if they have the best team this year, go win it again. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
They've been through the worst of the worst of the worst. Wouldn't you say?
It was a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, you weren't wearing shorts like that guy in Winnipeg was since 1990, were you?
Oh, no.
Right? Like that's.
How did he not die?
When you've got a fan that's going to go to that end. But no, it was a crap ballpark, crap football team, and they still had devoted fans.
That's what I mean.
And I haven't been back there in a long time. But when I see the crowd shots, it feels like there's a younger fan base there. I know when I go back home, I see Bomber jerseys and that. So they're doing something right. And this was even before the Grey Cup Championships. So I don't know. If it's Regina's huge, Winnipeg loves their football, Calgary, they enjoy their football. Maybe it's just not a big city thing in Toronto. I don't know what the story is there. Like I say, I just feel like that hasn't been a factor in the Canadian Football League. Any revenue that they've generated, any corporate sponsorships, it's not been on the back of the Argos.
No.
Zero.
Well, and I'm glad that it's not my job to have to figure it out, and I wonder if we have the right people in place to figure it out. That's a major concern. And for you or anybody to say, Ottawa needs to win, so let's pull for them to win. That's not a professional league. That's not like, you're not saying that about the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I know.
So,
and what's your gut feel?
On?
Just on the league, where we are in
CFL?
5 years, yeah. What does it look like? Who's running the show?
About a year ago, you should have asked me that, because I'm at a point now where I've kind of moved on.
Yeah.
I don't like the direction of it. And anything that I say is negative, so I just prefer to talk hockey.
Well, and the other thing is, too, right? I always say, if you're going to bitch, where's your solution or where's your contribution? So I don't bitch because I have no idea what you do. I really don't.
And I don't either.
I believe that in their heart of hearts, I think it's in the right place, and they're trying to do what they can for the league and to strengthen that, but I don't know what you do right now. The NFL is an absolute monster, and betting and fantasy football and red zone and everything. It's so tailored to the fan experience. I don't begrudge anybody for watching, because I do.
Boomer has 20 years in the league, so I got some really close friends, and when I say NFL Canada is the way to go, they get so angry. Because they're like, well, I'd be out of a job then. And I'm like, well, I've been out of a job. Like, this is what's best to save a respectable brand of pro football in Canada, but they don't want to hear it. So, to switch gears,
sure,
and we will probably carry this the rest of the way with Boomer here. When you said, what's the answer, I actually thought you meant the Arizona Coyotes. I'm shocked at how much people care in Canada about the arena situation, the state of the Coyotes. I assume it's the same in Calgary as where I've been.
Well, I think in Calgary they're worried about their rink.
Sure.
Right?
Sure, but they care about the Coyote situation.
I think what it is here, you're a 2:45, 3-hour flight. So when you go down to Arizona, you can go and see games. I think people don't want to lose that opportunity, right? We can go watch
for themselves.
Games. Yeah, that's right. Yes. It's very self-serving. I don't think there's any Winnipeg Jet connection anymore. I think that... I think what it comes down to a little bit is Bettman and his steadfastness to that market and that team.
And why do you think he is?
I think it looks poorly on him, number one, if they have to leave after all of these bailouts and pushing it and kicking it down the road. Mm-hmm. And number two, if your league can't survive in Arizona, what does it say about your league? Because what is it, the 4th, 5th, 6th highest or biggest population in the U.S.?
In the top 5 for sure.
Huge, right? So, and you've gone to Vegas and it works, and you've gone to San Jose, to a certain degree it works, and in Tampa obviously it's working. They've just never had a team that's any bloody good. They've never had they've never had ownership that have deep enough pockets to hang in there. They've never had a team that's good enough, and the rink's never been in a good spot for people that I'm sure everyone's talked about. It's a long way. If you live in Scottsdale or Tempe or in Phoenix, you got to really want to get there. And you hear, well, it's how many kilometers away. It's the traffic. It's getting in. It's getting out. I think if they put a rink in downtown Phoenix, or even where they're looking at building there in Tempe, which is close enough, if you get a team that wins, sports fans in the U.S. are rabid. They're crazy. They love it. They'll get behind it. But I don't feel bad for the Coyotes, because they've given the fans no reason to buy tickets. The whole experience, you have to travel, you got to pay, then you got to watch your team lose, then you got to get home. No one's going to do that.
No, and the funny thing, Boomer, is if you say you've watched what we've done, what I've been doing is literally, for the most part, sitting with fans in all these venues, CFL venues, NFL venues, and I don't need to be in the press box. I've been in enough.
Yeah.
And in Arizona, the fans say, stop blaming us, the fans.
I know.
Right? Blame the city, or stop blaming the city of Glendale. You guys, we've missed the playoffs since when? And they include the 2014 play-in as making the playoffs in Arizona, which you don't. Right? They haven't since 2012.
No, Glendale. I mean, they shell out of their own pockets as taxpayers, as residents in that place, to keep that building and that team afloat. The fans, I don't begrudge them at all. Not a single bit.
No, it's nice to hear you say that, because not many people do admit that. We'll be back with more with Dean Boomer Molberg when we return. We're live from Cody Snyder's Bull Bust a Grey Eagle Resort and Casino on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube live streaming, and of course you can always catch the podcast wherever you enjoy your podcasts, including Amazon, Google, Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop staffed by PGA of Canada professionals is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
It is the RP Show live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. And by the way, it is Taco Tuesday, $2 tacos at the over 160 locations of Taco Time across Canada. $2 tacos. We're pleased to be joined by Dean Boomer Molberg, Calgary sports radio legend. And let me just say, sports radio legend overall. Did you know, Boomer, that Regina, Calgary is like a Taco Time mecca? It's like 14 around here.
Only through you. That's how I found out.
That's the idea of advertising, right?
That's right.
So Boomer's a week into his retirement. Pause. And I have an idea what you're going to do next, but I'm going to let you announce that when you do. Right? Do you want to know?
If you could let me know, that'd be great.
Well,
save me some time.
Ryan Leslie came on here yesterday and gave his thoughts on where Johnny Gaudreau might be going or what he might be leaning to. And clearly you said you're still a hockey guy. You're still a hockey fan. Whew. It's what everybody's talking about here.
What's the date? 6th? 5th?
What is it? The 5th, yes.
Man, I was of the mind all along that he'll be back. July 1, you get past July 1, it's starting to get it's getting tight for everybody. That's a pretty big decision. And I don't know if I feel that way anymore. I feel like the clock is really ticking, and I think the Flames have been very good take all the time you need. It's not going to be about money. If you want to be here, you can be here. And it's getting awfully late, Rod.
Yeah.
I think he loves it here, but I think it's a big decision for not just him, but a wife. You're going to have a family at some point, your parents, her parent, the whole thing. It's not just one guy making that decision. And I just wonder if the silence is almost deafening now for the Flames.
But let me ask you this, as we said in the break, and as you know my career, I was 20 years elbows deep in the CFL. I've just started to really pay attention to the NHL, and in the CFL, the guys go to free agency just to see what's out there. Like, is Johnny not waiting free agency to open to see what he could get, and then he could still sign, or does it not work that way?
I think, well, the thing is, until the 13th, the Flames have that kind of silver bullet they can offer the 8th year. And you go to July 13th, teams can only give you 7. When you are the team looking to extend, you can go 8 years. And in a deal like this, where you're talking $10 million per year, that's a lot of extra dough on a 7-year deal that every other team would have to give him. But then you go to free agency, now the Flames are just like any other team. Now you can only go to 7. You're in there with no advantage whatsoever. So I think for the Flames, if it doesn't get done before the 13th, it makes things very hard. And you also need to conduct your own business. You can't wait on Johnny to the 13th and then continue to wait into the 13th and beyond, because then you've got your cap money and nothing to spend it on. And I don't know that you replace him regardless with one guy or 2 guys, but I always find it hard to believe, and it's collusion, but how does Johnny and his agent not know?
What are they going to get?
There's no... Hey,
tampering.
Hey, just in case really, like, maybe it's great ethics, right? Maybe there's scruples.
Because there's so much integrity in sport.
Exactly, scruples and integrity, undeniably great in the National Hockey League. But I gotta think, how many teams truly are going to be going 7 years at $10 million per on this guy? Who's got the space? Who needs that guy? It's got to be a relatively short list. There's going to be some teams for sure. But does he really not know? Do you need to go to the 13th to exactly find out what it's going to be? I find it hard to believe, and I think that there's so much admiration for him here between the city and the team that if they did get to that point and he doubled back like Stamkos did, that yeah, let's rekindle these talks and let's get this thing done. But I can't help but wonder if it gets to that point, then you kind of know if you're the Flames and you have to kind of shift gears. And I don't know if you do it before then, until you get a hard no or a hard answer that he's out. I don't know that you can move on and start to look at trades or anything else, but it's a tough spot for sure because they need him. I said it on the air here. I shudder to think what this team looks like without him on the ice.
Hey, pause for the cause. Mandy in Edmonton writes in. She says, Rod, will you let us know when you are coming for an Elks game? I would like to come meet you. I can no longer watch your hockey show every day, so I hope I don't miss it. She's a CFL fan, not a hockey fan. I'll be there Thursday, Mandy. I'll be there Thursday. So, yeah, looking forward to meeting you there. Back to the Gaudreau thing. So are we ready to write the epitaph on his career and look at what he may or may not have accomplished in Calgary yet, or do we wait until he's...
I think you wait. I do, because I do, but when you hear that Gaudreau loves it here, I believe that to be true. He does love it here, and I think that the money's going to be kind of the same wherever he goes. The thing that Calgary gives you is, yeah, it's the extra year, but truly it's that one jersey thing. You look at Patrice Bergeron. Is he really going to play somewhere else? You look at these players that stay their whole career, and you accomplish something, and he would. His number goes up in the banner, in the rafters. He's a retired player. He's one of the greatest to ever do it, to wear a Flames jersey if he stays, and that's got to have some appeal to it. But I don't know what I would do. It's hard. The allure of greener grass would be very hard, I think.
And home.
Even if it's not Philly, New Jersey, even if it's the East, and you're a 2-hour flight back to mom and dad's house instead of whatever you're connecting and whatever it would be to get home from here. I just wonder if the Eastern Conference, if that's all kind of a little intriguing for sure.
Well, and interesting too, as we sit here and broadcast live from Cody Snyder's Bull Bust, and so many things flood through my mind here. For one, Tim Hunter was down here last week on the show, and big name, right? Stanley Cup winner with
big
the Flames. Big everything. And we're trying to get him some tickets to the Bull Bustin'. So I talked to some people, and they said everybody in Calgary is trying to get tickets to the Bull Bustin'. But I talked to Cody Snyder this morning, And he goes, oh, no, Tim Hunter's the kind of guy I want in here. Yeah, give him my number. So we're working on that.
Yeah.
And point being, Tim says the future of the Flames is very bright. And I think, well, you can look back and how they didn't want it as bad as the Edmonton Oilers. Clearly, like 5 games isn't pretty much an ass-kicking. So do you want to look ahead or look back? Like, have they stopped examining how they lost that series and looking forward, or is that one that you carry forever?
Well, I know that the front office, they carry it for sure.
Yeah.
Beating Edmonton, and I know it's the same in Edmonton, beating Calgary, it's a little bit more. And I don't know that it had anything. Colorado was going to beat Edmonton in that series, but it really felt like getting the Battle of Alberta, that meant a lot to the Oilers. And they, not that they had nothing left, but they were so beaten, so tired, it was obvious. I think that there's a little bit of what happened. But man, the whole Gaudreau thing, I feel like is a watershed moment here for the franchise moving forward, because while it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with Matthew Tkachuk, I think it does. I think for Tkachuk to re-up here, he wants to know who's going to be here. And I don't know that he wants to hear that, well, the guy that we drafted in the first round last year, he'll be here in a few years and he might be good. I don't think that's going to work for Matthew. And rebuilds are long and painful and not always successful. You can strip it down, and I hear it all the time. I let him go and take all the money and strip it down. Well, how's that going in Ottawa or Arizona or all these other teams where you sit and watch losing hockey year after year? It won't go here. This is a hockey market. People want to see winning hockey, and there's been some lean years here, and they hated it. So I would say to everybody that wants to see a rebuild, don't think you're getting Connor Bedard in a slam dunk, and then all of a sudden in 3 years from now you're lifting a cup. It doesn't work that way.
Somebody wrote in here, it must have been in the YouTube chat, and they said that they saw, I wish I had the quote, and maybe Clark, if you guys know where it is, can you throw it up? Says that I saw Connor Bedard skate in a men's league this week, and he made players look silly. I would hope.
Yeah.
He's played at the World Juniors at 16 and made guys 19 look silly. And I think, what a bad year if you're Montreal, to segue to the NHL draft this week, to have the number 1 pick. Like, have you seen Bedard? You must have come and seen him when he was
yeah. Yeah.
What'd you think?
It's outstanding.
You
can't, there's no words, right? It's so great for all of us. We see Connor McDavid, and we see all of these incredible young players, and there's another one coming. We get another one. All of us get another one, and wherever he plays, I guess remains to be seen. But just the fact that there's that kind of skill still being brought through the pipeline is fantastic. And I think that the league's going to have to watch for sure on tanking. I don't know what you can do. I know that they've put in the lottery, and I don't like it. I feel like if you suck that bad and you're last, you should have more of a chance to pick first overall than what you do, whatever the math gives you in the draft lottery. But that's everything. You look at what Mario and Sid did in Pittsburgh, what Connor did in Edmonton. You're talking a new rink, everything.
Yes.
The whole city changes. Your whole life changes with one kid. And that's available in, less than a year now. It's wild to think.
Who knows? That's the thing. This draft I have no interest in. I've had Connor on this show many, many times. The kid he's unreal, man. Just as a person. Jennifer, Oilers fan from the Four Seasons, writes in. She says, beating Calgary was the only series we needed to win. Not saying that winning the cup is not the main goal, but makes the loss against Calgary sting less. Ha ha. That says Jennifer. I mean, if we said who would get Bedard next year, it would be such an absolute just word scramble, right? Like, we have no idea. But who is the worst team in the NHL?
Who is the worst?
Who will be the worst next year, do you think?
I don't think it's going to be Buffalo. I think they have something they have a little bit of something going there. I don't think it's Ottawa.
Could be Arizona again. There's no reason to think
Arizona again. And I don't think it's Detroit. They've kind of got enough going there. It's like you say, you never know. Could it be Philadelphia, right? Who knows? All it takes is your number 1 goalie to get hurt early on, and then all of a sudden, I think there will be some shifting on the fly next year if you do see that, where a goalie gets hurt, or maybe there's a team that's not quite where they thought they would be. Maybe you don't start the tank in the off season. Maybe you start it in November. Maybe you start it in the early part of December, and you start trading off pieces and getting ready, doing things before the deadline even hits.
To be honest, we're talking, the fans, they know of this, but they don't look into it like you and I. Like, as you know, I spent most of the winter in Florida, and there was an investigation into the Dolphins because the former coach, Brian Flores, said the owner of the Dolphins offered him, what was it, $100,000 a loss. Right, to tank. So they went back. Do you know how they investigated that, by the way, the NFL? They went and looked at all the games for bad coaching decisions that were so obvious that you were trying to lose. And I'm like, there's just bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, they didn't find any evidence that they were tanking.
And how happy would Flores be in that? Because that's kind of validation, not only in what you are as a coach, but what you are as a guy, that you're not going to throw games, that you're not going to be bought. And I know that he joined Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Right? I think he got with the Steelers there. Good for him, because it would be awful for your reputation if you go back and look at the game tape and they've got a dozen or more instances over 7 or 8 games where you clearly were making decisions to throw the game. Your career's done.
I know. Well, the reason I bring that up is, could you prove that NHL teams were trying to tank?
I think all you could do is line up what roster you ice, and then what your bench looks like in the third. If you start rolling your third and fourth more than your first and second in 1-goal games or whatever.
Right.
But there again, that'd be so obvious, right? It'd be so obvious.
And by the way, coaches do that anyway.
They do it anyway. Yeah.
Right. So I don't know that you could even prove it.
Yeah.
So, but nobody ever really thought about it in the NFL until Flores came out and pointed the finger at his owner, which incidentally, what an ugly situation that was. You know why he was upset. He found out that they were trying to get Tom Brady in there and Sean Payton and, oh man.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
It's hard to believe.
Remember when that
would actually happen?
When that story came out, he was like, this is the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard. And then it's got more and more legs.
True.
Like, imagine if Tom Brady went, what?
Almost happened.
Unreal, right?
Yes. I would be remiss, and we'll get to the CFL talk in the final segment, folks, if I didn't ask you about the arena situation, because when we first came to Calgary, we talked about it a lot, and we've kind of put it to bed for a while, but you're a guy that's been on the air here for a very long time. Do you have a sense of if we have a new hockey arena in our lifetime here?
It'll happen just because the city is vibrant. There's over 1 million people here, and it's young and it's energetic. It's been frustrating, I think, for a lot of people because it's been so close, and then it feels like it's almost spite on one side or the other, whether it's the team or the city council or the mayor or whatever that is sent it off the rails. I think where it's at now is good because you're hearing nothing. There's they brought in other people to negotiate. Not to say anything about the old mayor, whether he was responsible or not, but it's a new mayor, it's new people involved. It will happen. But the fact that it hasn't happened now. We joked a couple weeks ago, Ottawa's going to get a new rink before Calgary, and the rink they're leaving is newer than the one that we've got here, right? Like, how the hell does that work?
I never thought about that.
Right? They're already leaving a rink that's newer than ours.
It's tough to swallow.
It's got to happen.
Yeah.
We've always kind of, it sounds like a pity party, but for Calgary to have the football stadium and the rink that we have here, for how, again, alive this city is, you see it for yourself. It's kind of amazing to see that Winnipeg's got two new buildings.
It doesn't fit.
Yeah, it doesn't fit. So it'll happen for sure.
Boomer, thanks for the time. As I say, just proud of you for what you're doing. You get used to this. People are going to say you look great because you do.
Well, thanks.
So enjoy that.
And you, man, I said it to you when we were off. Congrats on all of this. This is not easy. You've been chopping away here, and you've made an impact. I mean,
thanks, Boomer.
Look at you, man. You're in Florida.
Pretty good.
Hey, you're in Florida. You're covering hockey. Cody Snyder, bull busting. Congratulations.
No,
this is very well done.
Thank you, Boomer. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Chase Coward of the Red Deer Rebels joining us next, and then we have a Taco Time viewer takeover for whatever you folks would like to discuss when we return to Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Cody Snyder's Bull Bustin' right after this on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour radio. Sport streaming now at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Calgary, Alberta, here they come. Welcome your Bull Riders!
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG. Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
We're live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino as always, but Cody Snyder's Bull Bustin' begins tonight right here in this arena. Sold out Tuesday, sold out Wednesday, sold out Thursday, but there are a few tickets remaining for Friday night. Not a shock that in Calgary, a bull riding event would be highly popular. Check out Bull Busting on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the rest, or GreyEagleResortandCasino.com. Or .ca. We're brought to you also in part by Ito Japan with freshly made food and high-quality ingredients. Ito Japan is food you can feel good about. There's no doubt about that. We'll be talking CFL next segment in Viewer Takeover. A lot of people want to talk about it, but the NHL Draft is this week, and we're pleased to welcome to the program Chase Coward of the Red Deer Rebels, a kid that is only 19, but he's been around, played AAA in Moose Jaw. He's from Swift Current, Prairie Hockey Academy. Joins us today on the week of the draft. How you doing, Chase?
I'm doing good. You?
Good. Very well. Very well. So tell our viewers that don't know what a hockey player like yourself is doing since the season ended and up until draft week. What's your summer been like?
I was working for a bit and working out at home, and currently I'm in Edmonton, and I'm actually sitting in a rink parking lot right now, just about to head on the ice here. So, yeah, that's.
Well, I appreciate you finding. I appreciate you finding some time for us, Chase. And that was kind of my question, because a lot of the
viewers like to know what a training regimen is and that kind of thing. But would you mind just telling our viewers your hockey road to this point, to the point that you're expected to hear your name called in the NHL draft at some point later this week? Just talk about the road that you've gotten to this draft eligibility status this year.
Yeah, so I grew up playing hockey through Swift Current minor hockey, like AA, and then some spring hockey. Then I ended up going to Prairie Hockey Academy for 2 years, playing Elite 15 both years. And then I ended up in Moose Jaw AAA for 2 years. And then the bubble season last year, of course, and then my past season with the Rebels.
Well, you would never remember this, but I do remember during COVID, that brief season that you guys started the season and then got it wiped out in AAA. I was at it. You guys were playing the Pac Canadians, and I was snapping some photos behind, and I remember the name Coward across the back of your Moose Jaw jersey, and you looked back at me. So when the guy said, Chase is coming on today, I'm like, that's got to be the same guy that was playing for Moose Jaw AAA. So to get up to Red Deer with the Rebels must have been, you did some good things in Moose Jaw.
Yeah, we had a good season, like all of us, a lot of my teammates too. We all had pretty successful seasons, and it was kind of sad that it ended the way it did. But I feel like that season really helped me take the extra jump to the Western League and kind of excel my growth a little bit.
Well, that's the thing, and what Chase is talking about. Yeah, you had your season canceled because of COVID, and you guys did have a really good team. But at least this year, you got back to some normalcy, and I went up to the games against Brandon in round 1, I guess, for the Rebels. I mean, talk about the season that you guys had with Red Deer and your playoff performance, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I didn't really know what was going to happen this year because I didn't play too many games in the COVID year. I think I played 4 at the end, so it was kind of a toss-up if I was going to start or if I was going to be a backup. And we ended up splitting 50-50, so that was like more than I asked for and very grateful for it. And I felt like I just kept improving as the year went on, and then came playoff time, I just felt like I was a completely different goalie that I've never felt like I was before. And obviously, the team played good in front of me in the first round after that long bus trip and that long last game there, triple overtime. But it was a good year for all of us, and then a few teammates got some draft interest, and then Bainesy signed a contract, so that's always exciting.
Yes, absolutely. Now, you perked my interest there when you said you felt like a different goalie. What, Chase, would you attribute that to?
I think it was just mostly a lot of confidence going into the playoffs. Like, my team displayed the confidence to have, or to start me essentially. So it just kind of boosted my confidence in myself and kind of allowed me to get a little bit more out of my box, and then just pushed me a little bit more in practice. So then when it came game time, I was already out of my box. So I think it gave me that extra little step.
Wow, man. Good for you. Well, I watched the games. I saw a difference, but I didn't know specifically what it was. So you guys lose to Edmonton, who goes on to win the league. When they went to the Memorial Cup, be honest with me, were you cheering for them, or were you not cheering for the Edmonton Oil Kings at the Memorial Cup?
Well, I had a buddy on that team, like Ethan Peters. I played 3 years with him, and then I knew Jackson Weed a bit because he was in Red Deer, and I've skated with him in Moose Jaw. So I was kind of cheering for Edmonton just for those two guys, because I'd love to see those two guys win the Mem Cup when they were there, but it's a sad end for them, but still they had a pretty good run.
Good for you, Chase. Now, so to your training regimen, you mentioned that you're going to be on the ice today. How much time do you spend between on ice and off ice here in the summertime?
Last month was mostly off ice because I was in Swift and we don't really have too much ice around there. And then I drove up to Edmonton Sunday, and then I skated this morning. Then I skate again at 12:15-ish, I think, here. And then I'll skate again tonight. And it's in between that, I'll do some like Pilates sessions and some yoga.
Well, good. Oh, good for you. Good for you. And by the way, as a Swift Current kid, I spent a lot of time in that town. Talk about what they're going through. I've seen some Broncos that are pretty high listed for this NHL draft. How are they feeling in Swifty about the Broncos, and will they be paying attention real close to this draft?
It's kind of mixed feelings in Swift. I think ever since that big run they put together, they've the fan base has kind of fallen off. So hopefully with all those guys like getting drafted and having that interest, it brings some fans back to that rink, because when I played there, it was pretty empty, and I'd like to see that place full again.
Wouldn't we all? Now, my last question for you, Chase, is how will you spend this weekend when the NHL draft is going on? You going to be glued to your phone, or are you going to be doing something else?
I think I skate Friday, so kind of depending on what time I get off, I have a teammate up in Edmonton that brothers is pretty high listed, like Jordan Gustafson. His brother's Blake, played in Red Deer, so I think the plan is I might go over there and watch the draft with him.
All right, well, enjoy it, Chase, and good luck. Absolutely.
Thank you.
You've earned it. Yeah, and as you can see, I've been following you for a long time, so enjoy the rest of the summer, and we'll see you on the ice in the fall.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
Chase Coward of the Red Deer Rebels by way of Swift Current and Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. When we come back for our final segment today from Cody Snyder's Bull Bustin', a sports update, and finally that viewer takeover that you've all been clamoring for. We'll be right back. You're watching on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube live streaming, and 24-hour sports radio streaming now at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM-certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com. Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Cody Snyder's Bull Button ready to rock live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. How about the sun is out? It's made its way around the speakers here. We pulled it off. Before we bring the Moose in for overtime, we have some breaking news on this Tuesday. The New York Islanders, we're sliding into a second sports update here. The New York Islanders have hired Doug Huda and Brian Wiseman as assistant coaches, the team said today. Huda joins new Isles coach Lane Lambert's staff after 6 seasons as an assistant with the Detroit Red Wings. Doug Huda, a former Calgary Wrangler. Wiseman spent the last 3 seasons with the Edmonton Oilers as an assistant coach. Placeline, Palm Springs, California. The Coachella Valley Firebirds have hired the first female assistant coach in AHL history. Jessica Campbell spent the past year working with the Tri-City Storm of the USHL development program, and she was an associate coach with Germany at the World Men's Hockey Championships. And from the NFL, former NFL star Demaryius Thomas, who died last December at age 33, had CTE. His family unveiled today. Boston University CTE Center researchers diagnosed the 4-time Pro Bowl wide receiver with stage 2 CTE following a brain study through the Concussion Legacy Foundation. Thomas's family released the findings of the study today. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room, your official home of Slow Pitch, open Wednesday to Sunday. For the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, and for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. Okay, Moose is back.
Yep, great hair.
Yeah, where's that coming from?
That was yesterday.
Who said that? Did I? Leslie said that.
In his Labardius at the end of the show. It was pretty good.
Ted in Red Deer says, just an awesome discussion with Boomer. Exactly why I tell my buddies to watch the show. Fantastic talk. Thank you, Ted in Red Deer. I appreciate that. And, we have this contentious relationship, I would say, with Mandy from Edmonton, the huge Elks fan. She's like, I can't watch your hockey show anymore. Tell me when you're coming to Edmonton. I would like to meet you. This is what we're going to do. Okay? Okay. How's your morning been over here with the rodeo?
It's been awesome.
You ready for tonight?
Yeah, it's great.
Man, has it turned out
having an awesome time. Yeah, getting a little bit of sun. We didn't fall off the plank here. Life is pretty good.
Were you worried that we would?
No, but if you looked at the gear setup, we're kind of over top of a couple different pieces, and I'm about 6 inches from the edge. But no, it's been awesome, and everybody's been great to work with and deal with. And I want to is there mutton busting tonight? I can't remember.
Are you offering?
If the kids got on the sheep or not? But
I don't think so.
It'll be fun.
It's been. We'll get. Hey, you want to talk about something? Text us right now, 902-518-3033. Because trust me, we're fine. Mm-hmm. We can go. Overtime brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the UFC. And what else? It was the Stanley Cup playoffs. I haven't heard from Georgie from the Four Seasons since. Mandy is still watching. She says, Rod, I didn't say hockey show. You misread that, LOL. I'm looking at attending Thursday now to meet you. You hear that, CFL? They're coming to the game because we're going to be there. So I'm sorry, Mandy, that I misunderstood you. Let's get that CFL stuff out now. If you want, what you folks would like to discuss. There's just a lot of other things going on. And we started this show all in the sun, and then I slipped behind the speaker, and I was in a shadow, and I got cold, and now I'm back out in the sun, and I think we pulled it off, and the viewers have no idea what a gong show it's kind of been. Behind the scenes, nothing precarious or unprofessional in nature.
No, but
kind of by the seat of our pants, too.
Yeah, but let's just put it in perspective. A gong show today is a drop in the bucket compared to a gong show a year from now, right? If you remember, a gong show a year from now was not sure if an interview was going to play until, I remember, I'm getting the notifications. Like 1 year ago today, we were in Montreal.
How awesome was that?
And the things we've pulled off. I mean, we were sitting up here not sure if there was going to be internet. an hour before the show, but there was no panic. I mean, that was as big of a gong show as we have now. I mean, and that was no big deal. They got that sorted out, and we're on the air, and Bob's your uncle.
Mandy says, I love your show and your personality and respect your topic choices, LOL. Well, Mandy, thanks. We love you, and I appreciate you hanging in. So if you want a little insight of what's going on here and how we roll, like Boomer was just here, you watched it. The guy's left Fan 960. It's been reported. I'm not saying anything out of school. He didn't have a job to go to. He just didn't want to do that anymore. So we talked in the break, and I said, I just want to have fun. That's all I want, is to have fun. I want to be happy and have fun. And I hadn't been before. Now I'm having a hell of a lot of fun. Look at the smile on this kid's face. You going to tell me he isn't too? So we're talking about Edmonton, and we're going to get a hold of the Elks and hopefully get press box passes. If we don't, we'll get tickets, and we're going to go. And another guy in our crew, he's like, I'm good. He's got other stuff going on. So we're going to roll up there. But it's only Tuesday, man. We got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to figure out.
Still got some time.
How we're going to meet with fans and when, and if the Elks will allow it. Are we going to do a tailgate before the game, halftime? I don't know. And for the lot of people that are in my circle that have known me for a half century, they're like, you need to have this locked down. It needs to be planned. You need to have the next 30 years planned, let alone the next 30 minutes. No, we don't.
No.
Hey, God, it's a fun way to live.
An hour before the show, we didn't know where we were doing the show from.
Oh, I know.
You know, and
Spicy.
But that's okay. That's okay. We figured it out, and it's awesome.
Yeah, we're going to be there Thursday. But when and how, stay tuned, and we'll let you know. But I am just so... proud, if I will, but these people don't work for me. I don't know what to say. Just grateful that everybody, if they're the rodeo guys and the hotel guys and the casino guys and the city guy, everybody came together and pulled this off.
Yeah. And it's been awesome.
Yeah. What do you got to say?
Well, we got time.
Yeah.
Wimbledon update.
Yes.
Been watching a lot of that, and I was actually disappointed. The young Italian kid, Yannick Sinner, I've been watching him, and he went up 2-0 on Novak Djokovic. But in the time that we've been on the air, Djokovic came back and won in 5 sets, so that kind of sucks.
It's over?
Yeah, the young kid, though. Not all of Wimbledon. That's only the quarterfinals.
No. Djokovic, that game is over.
Yeah, that match is over.
I heard that he was in trouble.
He was in big trouble to this young kid who I love, this Sinner kid, the Italian, and... Djokovic is number one for a reason.
Nelson Hakowicz, no plans to go to Touchdown Atlantic and broadcast from the East Coast? None. Zero. But we wish them well with the Argos and the Riders in Nova Scotia. Moose, let's have a great day.
All right.
Let's continue it. Everybody will see it tomorrow, noon Eastern, here on Game Plus TV. We don't know what we're doing.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. Hot take. Hot damn. That's hot. Hot. Spicy.